What is going on, Mixed Reactions? It is September 23rd, 2025. We are here for episode 92. I am your host, Casey Merritt, joined by my two fellow co hosts, Ian Blackwell, Justin Duncan, and we have a special guest tonight, Mr. Nick Mitchell. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Nick?
Hello, Nicholas Mitchell, proud Vikings fan, born
Yeah, we're
loser.
definitely going to get into the Vikings, man, for sure. But there's somebody here that wants to lead off about his game, and I really want him to dive into this. So, Ian, take this shit away.
Good intro. Welcome, Nick. It was a lot smoother than my intro to Corey for the pick segment last week. That was awkward. But yeah, man, the it was tough. I mean, I know I've been in loss, in defeat previously. Optimistic, what it could mean down the road. It could be a learning curve. It could be a lesson. Man, that shit pissed me the 26-7, man. And it didn't even feel like we got stopped on fourth down. We got two kicks blocked. It doesn't even feel like we played that bad. AJ Brown just suddenly got activated. I don't know who was trying to stop Dallas Goedert. Um, yeah, I just don't really have any words. I mean, we were destroying Jalen Hurts. Me and you were kind of talking about it in the chat. Our pass rush looked insane. That last drive, I have it pulled up here. 17 plays, 91 yards in 6 minutes, 54 seconds. You said it. We had enough time to go down the field. We just couldn't got blocked. And I mean, I think we ended up losing by seven, I think, after they returned that back, but obviously it feels more like a 1 point loss. But yeah, man, just very sad. We have the Colts coming up, but it's just something where I feel like looking at it now, we're not going to be a fringe playoff team. We're going to be comfortably in the playoffs, but I mean, that's a game we have to have. Whether it comes to seeding or whatever, that's you just got to have those games. I mean, when you guys beat the Giants, you guys only beat them by what, two? And like you said, a win is a win in the NFL. I wouldn't have cared if they came all the way back and we only won by one, but just losing, yeah, man, that hurt. And I was ready to talk shit to my buddy that's a Phillies fan. I'm glad I kind of held off on that because he's a loudmouth too. He probably would have let me have it. Pause.
No, I agree because you really got to break it down like this, too. This could have been one of the wins for the Rams that was a signature win throughout the course of the season. Now, of course, we know with every regular season this happens, right? There's a games where a team blows a two-score lead, a three-score lead, and it doesn't always come back to bite them as far as seeding. But when it's a team like Philadelphia, who you had struggles against last year as well, this could absolutely be one of those games where, say, if it does come down to an NFC title game, it may be in Philly now rather than LA, and that could make a huge impact. So, and it's you said it yourself. You when I said to you in the chat, you guys had plenty of time. Stafford was moving the ball pretty consistently down the field in that last drive. Kyron Williams was making good runs. You got in great position for the field goal attempt. And I'm not sure how Jordan Davis just got through the line like it didn't exist and blocked it and ran it all the way back. And that's not something that happens all too often. It's a kind of an anomaly loss on a blocked field goal. It happens once every couple of years. And so I don't chalk it up as a you could you could chalk it up as a choke just because you're right. They had that 26-7 lead within
We
that
choked.
game,
There's no way around it.
but they also had the mental fortitude to put that last drive together. And I think that says a lot about the Rams as a whole. So I don't want this loss to like scare you throughout the course of the rest of the season. I still think the Rams have a very good shot of being in that NFC title game and potentially representing the NFC in the Super Bowl.
What about you? I could go on for days. What about you, fellas?
You turn the ball over 5 times, you don't deserve to win. And Ramondre Butterfinger Stevenson is probably riding the pine pony for the next couple weeks, at least. I would say you can't rely on him to keep the ball. Um, I will say the Patriots defense was absolutely locked down for the majority of the game outside of the first quarter. And aside from the final drive for Pittsburgh, they held him to 30 yards. 30 yards total. The defense was not the problem in the Patriots Steelers game this weekend. Not one bit. They couldn't keep the ball. And Drake May was moving the ball and then pissed it away at the last second. Either there was a strip sack fumble, interception in the end zone, Ramondre Stevenson fumbling in the end zone. Um, I mean, that was a game the Patriots should have won, but didn't deserve to win.
Justin, this kind of boils down to that's a game that a bad team loses. And
Yes,
unfortunately, that's still just what New England is at this point in
it,
time. They're still a
they're,
bad team.
they are a fringe wild card if they get lucky, if the AFC stays open. That's about as best as you can expect. I'm expecting based on how they're playing, no more than 7 wins, but that's an improvement over last year. So it is improving if you want to call it improving. But yeah, it the self-inflicted wounds until those get nipped in the bud, they're gonna be middling. It is what it is.
No, I fully agree. And one team that's not middling right now, Nick, your Vikings put on a dominant, and I mean dominant performance against the Cincinnati Bengals.
And you said they
Sure.
weren't gonna. You said that they were. Cincinnati was gonna have a game built around Jake Browning. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be fine. Oh, what happened?
Oh, I was dead wrong on that. I was dead wrong on that. Nick, what was your thoughts on the Vikings performance?
Well, going into the game, I thought for sure that Jake Browning was going to have his little freaking moments again. And I'm like, T. Higgins and him are going to light it up. And this time they had Jamar Chase. And I'm like, all right, so where were they really going to go with this? And Isaiah Rodgers just said, you know what? Let's ruin the party here and just get a couple turnovers and run it in for touchdowns. And before I know it, the game, I'm sitting back and actually relaxing and enjoying the game. Finally, a game where they blow out. And I'm like, holy crap, this is what this defense can do. And if we have an offense that can complement this defense and get something rolling, this team can be very scary. As I've said this before, every time it seems like we get one side going, the other side just is a deflated tire. And then we get the other side going, and then the other side's a deflated tire. The defense is always going, the offense is always going, but to get them both going is just like, it's out the world. It really is frustrating watching them. But when this team, if JJ McCarthy, when he comes back, as long as he understands where he is in this game and doesn't try to play hero, we can just manage this all the way to the playoffs, just like Sam Darnold did with us.
No, that's a great take. I don't disagree with anything you said. I was actually listening to Colin Coward earlier today, and I wanted to get your perspective on this. He said currently he doesn't think this will be the case in 6 weeks from now, but currently Carson Wentz is better fit to lead the Vikings than JJ McCarthy. So he doesn't think the injury is that big of a deal for the Vikings right now.
I mean, that in a way makes sense because Carson Wentz has been in the league forever. So, I mean, anybody is better than JJ McCarthy. The guy's played 2 games in the NFL. And I mean, it's not fair to JJ McCarthy, but Carson Wentz has the experience, and that's what I was going by last year. Everybody asked me, "What do you think of Sam Darnold signing with the Vikings long term?" I'm like, "Why would I want that when we put all our hands in the cookie jar here for JJ McCarthy?" I find that I was like, I don't find that right. I think Kevin O'Connell has a plan, and I'm sticking with Kevin O'Connell, and I think JJ McCarthy will start evolving with this team. I mean, he's got the players, and Jordan Addison comes back this week, I believe, this week, week 4. So that right there, I mean, a big asset already. So we'll have Justin
It'd be
Jefferson
after
at
this
1.
week, wouldn't it? It'd be
Huh?
after this week, wouldn't it? It's a
Or
four.
after
He'd
this
be
week. It's
after.
4 game suspension, so it'll be after
Yeah.
this week. So hopefully JJ McCarthy is ready to go. Start getting his rhythm going. I wish he would have played this game. I wish he was healthy because I think if he was, he could have weaned into this game with no pressure. Just go down the field and play the way you want to play, and just see
Yeah.
what you have.
Yep.
Whereas like we're playing Atlanta and we're just playing catch up all game. Even with our defense stopping them, we're just still had to play catch up. And I don't think JJ McCarthy could get settled. And I felt like that with the Bears. And this game right here against Cincinnati could have been the game that got him really comfortable and started the process of where he could be next week. And I don't know. And just in the end, I
No,
think that the Vikings definitely have something going.
that makes sense because you got to think this could have been JJ McCarthy's quote unquote coming out party just
Mhm.
based on the way the Vikings defense was handling Jake Browning. You're right, Nick. That could have gotten JJ super comfortable. They could have ran more plays that he's comfortable with. They would have found what his niche is. I completely agree. That's a valid point.
I mean, you hold Cincinnati to 172 total, 171, 172 total yards. You do that against much of any team in the league, you're in good shape.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that having them held to 172 yards of total offense sounds like a dream in my eyes because, boy, what I am seeing from Dallas could quite possibly be the worst defense I have ever seen from the Dallas Cowboys. They are by far the worst defense in the NFL. They, by a wide margin, have given up the most explosive plays via the pass game. The secondary has no idea what's going on. When they're in zone, Trayvon Diggs stumbles and leaves Rome Odunze wide open in the end zone. When they're playing zone coverages, they get lost in their zones. They have no pass rush. They have played one decent half of defense all season, and that was the opener against Philadelphia. Other than that, they have been absolutely atrocious. It's making this Micah Parsons trade almost feel irrelevant. I knew you probably said it's making it worse. It's almost making it irrelevant because I don't think Micah could help this defense right now. It is that bad. They have nothing going for them. And I am hitting the panic button when it comes to this. I thought last week, maybe they'll fix their issues. Maybe they'll have better plays within the secondary, and none of that happened. Caleb Williams, who has struggled the vast majority of over his first two seasons, looked like the number one overall pick for probably the first time in his career. He tied his career high in passing touchdowns in 4, threw 3 of those touchdowns in the first half, I might add. And now, of course, CeeDee Lamb looks like he's going to be out for 2 to 4 games. Their first round draft pick, Tyler Booker, is now out 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. It almost just feels like this team is cursed. I'm not completely throwing in the towel on a moderately successful season if they can get a couple pieces together. But as far as anything close to contention, 0% chance on that.
What would you define as moderately successful? Because moderately successful in Dallas Cowboys terms is a playoff berth.
Moderately successful for my expectations now would be anywhere between 7 to 9 wins.
So basically, we're the Patriots right now.
Yeah, Justin, that's one thing that you and I was going to have a heart-to-heart about tonight. We both have to come to the realization our teams suck. They have
yeah. The only thing that's going for the Patriots right now is a relatively cushy schedule. That's the only thing they've got going for them right now, really.
No, I don't disagree. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to Dallas this season, especially because I don't feel, obviously they had that little slip up against the Browns this past weekend, but I don't see that happening with Green Bay all too often. So I think we're going to get a top 10 pick and on our end from Dallas, and then a top, I don't know, back end 26 to 32 pick for the Packers.
Yeah, I think that the Packers loss to the Browns is definitely uncharacteristic of them, and it felt like a bit of a trap game in a sense, like because everyone kind of generally expected that Green Bay was going to roll over Cleveland. I told you guys that Cleveland's defense was no joke, and sure enough, I was right.
It was in Cleveland, wasn't it?
It was in Green Bay.
Oh, was it?
It was in Lambeau.
No, it was in Cleveland.
No,
sure,
I just checked. It was Cleveland.
I could have sworn it was in Lambeau, but okay.
No.
Anyway, either way you spin it, though. I mean, I expected it was going to be closer, and obviously it flipped for the Browns on that one. But I agreed. Dallas, it's not looking pretty, and I think Dallas needs to. If you're not smashing the panic button, you're pressing it.
So I was going to save this portion of it for my overreaction kind of, but it feels fitting to say, and I feel very confident in saying that this is 100% accurate. If Dallas even had a middle of the pack, somewhat coherent defense, they'd be 3-0 right now.
2-1 for sure. I don't know about 3-0.
At the very least, 2 again. They beat the Giants week 2, and then they lost to the Bears this past Sunday. But I think even with a remotely comparable defense, I'll give you the push and say at the very least 2-1. But I firmly believe they'd be 3-0 if they had even a comparable defense, because their offense is not the issue.
The funny thing is, coming up to this weekend, and we're obviously going to go over it in the pick segment later. I mean, that's almost a home game playing in Vegas. You think over under 8.5 fights posted to social media within 24 hours. Raiders Cowboys at Vegas is going to be wild. We'll get
You
to
know,
that in
it's
the
We
pick
don't play.
segment.
you know
We
what's
don't play
funny
the Raiders.
because so two
We don't
weeks
play the. Hold on.
removed. I'm sorry.
We don't play the
play-
Raiders. We play the Packers.
Whose schedule did I look at? Shit. Is that Minnesota? I was looking at somebody's schedule.
No,
Minnesota
Minnesota
plays
plays.
Pittsburgh.
Let's say
We play
Minnesota plays
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh.
in Dublin Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. We have a 9:30 game this week, fellas.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
yep,
love
yep.
those games.
Speaking of the
Anything can happen.
Giants, though,
Bears
I
play
think
the
it's
Raiders.
interesting. Okay, I think it's interesting though that 2 weeks removed from Russell Wilson nearly throwing 500 yards against the Cowboys, he's benched. Jackson Dart starting for the Giants this week.
Did you
Well,
watch that game?
that was awful. It's because Russell Wilson actually had to play a competent defense that knew what they were doing.
I just think it's kind of funny after at just only 2 weeks removed from throwing nearly for 500 yards. I mean, granted, I agree.
This is cliche New York football right here. Isn't this
True.
how it always goes? The Giants, the Jets, they all scream for the rookie quarterback to come in. They come in early, and then guess what happens? The same old story, same song and dance every time. What have we done? Sam Darnold. Who else have we been through for rookie quarterbacks? And now they're getting this. Jackson Dart's going to come in. And who are they playing this week?
They've got Giants have the Chargers.
Yeah, there you go. So here's your coming out party, Jackson Dart. Good luck. And then what do you think's going to happen? Give him 3 weeks, and Russell Wilson's going to be back in there.
You can't do that to a young quarterback, I don't think, though, because when Jackson Dart take over, it has to be his team for the rest of the season, barring injury, of course. But if you then bench him for Russell Wilson 3 weeks later, that's going to be an ultimate confidence killer for that young kid.
Hence the reason why the Patriots
gonna
didn't.
happen.
That's why the Patriots didn't bench Drake May halfway through his second half swing of the season last year, because why are you going to go back to Jacoby Brissett?
Mm-hmm.
Justin, I'm getting the feeling on Drake May now, and you may not like this, what I'm about to say. I have a feeling now that Drake May, albeit a talented quarterback, doesn't feel like he's a difference-making quarterback.
I think it's too early to make that assumption, but I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think that's fair to Drake May yet, considering this is like the same story Mac Jones went through. No offense whatsoever. You guys have no primary targets. Who is it? Stephon Diggs? Like, there's no one there.
Hunter Henry, mostly.
Hunter Henry, yeah, nothing great though, nothing special that's going to stand out. New England needs to go out there and you need to get a wide receiver for this kid before
They tried and it failed. They tried with Stephon and it failed.
Stephon Diggs wasn't going to be the answer. He should have never went there anyway. If anything, he's a number 2. He ain't no number 1 anymore. There's no number 1 out there for him. Devontae Adams was up for grabs. I would have gone after him before Stephon Diggs.
I thought they would.
I did too. I think they should try to make a case for AJ Brown. I know he had a decent game this past weekend, but he's not happy in Philly.
Yeah, he's not happy, but he's got the money. So who's covering that?
Yeah, that's fair. I think New England might have the cap space for it.
They've got the cap space, but they
bad.
should have went and got Terry McLaurin from Washington. That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
I don't think he was going anywhere. He didn't.
He
want
wasn't.
to go anywhere.
He wasn't going, but they could have gone for DK. But DK's aging, so that it's like a little iffy question on that one. But
I was scratching my head when Scary Terry wanted to leave. I was like, "What? What is going on here? You finally get your quarterback, and you want to leave." I'm like, "Dude, you've been with Washington forever. This is your moment now, and then you want to bail." I'm like, "This is the worst time."
money
to do
talks. Money talks. That's what
No,
it
I'm
was.
not disagreeing with that, but why are you going to start over when you
Right.
already got the guy now? You made it to the NFC Championship game. You
Right.
shouldn't want to leave.
Right.
And I
I
understand the
definitely
money.
think it was a ploy. Yeah, I think it was a ploy to get more money. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
clearly what it was with Terry.
Definitely.
Like
I mean,
his situation and Micah's felt so different.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. If New England does somehow swing a big trade, because they've got the cap space and they do have a bit of draft capital, as I understand it, so they can make a swing at the deadline, but it has to be a home run swing.
They'd be the perfect
that's
trade
fair.
option too. Why
Yeah.
would any playoff team say if the Eagles did want to get rid of AJ Brown, why wouldn't you want to dump him off to New England? He's out of the conference. He's over there to a team that's probably not going to be a threat for another year. I think that would be perfect, maybe even 2. It's just the way it goes. They're a perfect destination to go to as far as a threat in the NFL.
So Justin, what's your timetable on May for agreeing with my point that, albeit he's a talented quarterback, not a difference making one, because that's what I'm seeing so far from him.
I'm not going to start coming to that conclusion until the end of the season.
Okay.
Because he hasn't even played a full season worth of games yet.
No, but he's 2-13 in games that he started and finished.
He's also on, again, I have to also give the benefit of the fact that he's under a second offensive coordinator, second system in as many years.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like Mac Jones all over again.
And comparatively, if you take Jaden Daniels compared to Drake May just in college football experience, Drake May had half the starts. Not even that much. So it's he's got the talent, but I agreed. I can't say he's not a difference maker, or at least potentially a difference maker yet. I'm gonna reserve that call until the end of the season to say.
You see where I'm coming from, though.
Oh, I see where you're coming from. I just think it's too soon to hit that conclusion.
Okay.
I think Merritt's already thinking Kirk Cousins for Drake May.
Oh yeah, he is.
No way.
Yeah, you are.
No way.
Yeah, you are.
No way. No fucking way. Drake May. No, Kirk Cousins needs to go to Cincinnati.
That would probably be the best bet for him.
What else did he go?
If Kirk Cousins went to Cincinnati though and started doing well, what do you do? Do you actually bench him and put Joe Burrow back in? Like it's just going to be.
But the problem is Cincinnati has no offensive line. That's half the problem.
Yeah. I get what Nick is saying. You just put yourself back in a tough position. If you bring him to Cincinnati, so.
The worst thing that can possibly happen for a starting quarterback that's actually good is, and not to mention injury prone, is having a backup quarterback that's also good and also freaking can really start getting the needle thread in here. I mean, Kirk Cousins, when he's good, he's good. But obviously, when you go through all these different changes, I mean, I think for sure that if Kirk Cousins had to go somewhere, I don't see him going somewhere. He has to go somewhere where he has to have an offensive line. And I think the way he sees Joe Burrow, I don't think he'd want to go there, in my opinion.
Do you guys think that Kirk Cousins was watching? If Kirk Cousins was watching, is Kirk Cousins still on the Falcons? Is he on the roster still?
Yes.
Good God. Could he have said to somebody, put me in, we can get past the 30-yard line this week if I'm in there? I mean,
they did put him in.
Did they? I didn't even think they did.
I think they put him in at the end of the game. I think it was just atrocious for them. Carolina, boy, didn't they wreck house on them? Kind of felt good though.
Man, that was.
The funny thing is, if you look at the stat line of that game and you didn't know the score, you would have think Atlanta won. They had more first downs, more total yards, more time of possession, and it was mistake after mistake from Michael Penix.
But Atlanta couldn't even get past their own 30-yard line.
They couldn't get to Carolina's
couldn't get to Carolina's 30-yard line. They couldn't get anywhere near the red zone. Couldn't even sniff it.
Do you contribute that to still the young pup that Michael Penix is, or do you think this is a sign of things to come?
Just a bad Falcons team.
I wouldn't say a bad Falcons team. I mean,
you've got Bijan Robinson, you've got Drake London, you've got Darnell Mooney. You've got pieces, but
from my standpoint, I said it last week, and you called it a slight overreaction, but you said you understood where I was coming from. I think Bijan Robinson is the best running back in football.
I think so too.
He definitely has. He's definitely in the conversation. If he is not the best, I mean, you can make the argument for Derrick Henry, Barkley, and Henry, top three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a fully healthy McCaffrey probably still gets a nod or two here and there, but
McCaffrey will never be healthy ever again.
Yeah, I think he.
But it's done.
Yeah, it's those. They're definitely the top three without question.
Yeah. And right now, just based on the play, Barkley's struggling this year. Obviously, Henry's beasting, but he's just not as complete as a back as Bijan is with the passing game.
And that's fair. I'm not taking anything away from him at all. I mean, he had 5 catches for 39 yards out of the back. I mean, only on 6 targets. So it's not like he's dropping the ball on the screen passes and on the short passing yard plays. But he's averaging 7.5. He averaged 7.8 yards per catch. So he's productive.
Yeah,
but
very.
But Michael Penix, I mean, gotta do something for me,
It's,
buddy.
I
I
mean, you
guess
want to
something.
talk about a guy who hasn't gotten a full year of starting in, though, too. You want
Yeah.
to say that about Drake May. Michael Penix has even less starting time than Drake May so far.
Michael Penix has weapons.
Who? Kyle
Yes.
Pitts. I've been waiting for that guy to pop up for like 3
I
years
was just
now.
telling somebody that earlier. I was like, it seems like we just keep waiting for Kyle
Well,
Pitts to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
let's not
name.
act like Drake London's not a legit number one receiver. He definitely is.
I mean, you got Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson. That should be enough.
There is talent in Atlanta. That's why I don't consider them a bad team, Justin, because there's talent inside Atlanta.
I'm not. I think they're poorly coached.
Oh yeah, 100% agree with that. 100% agree.
I
poorly
think they're
coached.
very poorly coached. And it's a lot of wasted talent so far.
Don't disagree.
I give Michael Penix another year or so. I mean, that's not fair to
Basically,
him either. Like I
you
said,
got to
all
give him
these
the
guys are
Drake.
just
You got to give
starting.
him the Drake May treatment. Agreed. You have to give him
Yeah.
at least until the end of
All
the
these
year,
guys are
beginning
getting the
next year.
treatment. You got to think, what is there? Five, all in that draft class. Penix, JJ McCarthy, May. I mean, we're already ridiculing them, and these guys really haven't had anything yet. We're only 3 games into the season.
The
So to
only
even
two,
think that-
only two players out of those five who've actually had a season are Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels took Washington to the NFC Championship game. Caleb Williams, he's uber talented. Again, I got to see more out of him to say he is not going. He's not Trevor Lawrence in terms of I feeling is borderline bust. But I need to see a little bit more out of Caleb Williams consistently.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be eating those words when I said it.
I
2 months ago.
said right
Jacksonville's
now.
winning the South.
I'm saying for right now, Trevor Lawrence is a borderline bust for what he was supposed to be.
Hold on, we're talking about bust, and I'm not saying this guy is a bust. I'm not saying that yet. I would just like to point out that what have I said about Ohio State quarterbacks for 3 years now?
I know what you've said about Ohio State quarterbacks for the last 3, 4, however many years. They can
CJ Stroud.
He is regressed horrifically. And I've said it about Ohio State quarterbacks for 3 years on this show. They never pan out in the NFL. Justin Fields, JT Barrett, obviously CJ Stroud now. OJ Howard's not going to do anything. Troy Smith. He was a Heisman winner. They converted him to wide receiver, and he lasted a year and a half in the NFL.
He didn't even get drafted. He got in a supplemental draft. He wasn't even drafted.
Was he the one signing autographs, or was that Carter?
Okay.
Who was that?
No.
Braxton Miller. I think they were signing the autographs at Ohio
Braxton
State.
Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Braxton Miller converted to receiver again.
Let's also not say that Trevor Lawrence had a fantastic game. He was 20 of 40 for 222 and a pick. He didn't throw any touchdowns. It was all in the run game.
Listen, I'm not sitting here saying Trevor Lawrence is the second coming of Aaron Rodgers, but
that's what he was touted to be. That's my point.
They were saying he was the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck.
And he's nowhere near that.
No, I don't think he's sniffing what Andrew Luck was by any means.
So for expectations, he is an absolute bust. For expectations.
I would go, if we're labeling it in tiers, right? Like if we exceeding expectations, meeting expectations, needs improvement, disappointment, and bust, I would put him in disappointment. I would put him in the
He's bust for me.
Bust.
He's bust for me.
Maybe he just needs to get out of Jacksonville and start over fresh. I bet you that'd probably rejuvenate him a little bit.
If he were to do that, because I think it is a product of location. Because Jacksonville was never going anywhere when they drafted him. They're still not going really. Again, until they could prove me otherwise, they're not going anywhere.
I thought him and Doug Peterson were going to come in and take it over. I thought for sure Doug Peterson would have got him under control. And I was like, you know what? This team's going to be something. And then that just never went through. Doug Peterson gets fired, and I'm like, there goes that.
Yep. No, I get it.
If Indianapolis keeps playing, if Danny Jones keeps playing the way he's playing,
he's not.
Well,
not this weekend.
No, I know. But if he continues that level of play, if the Colts level continue that level of play, Houston is obviously hitting the panic button as they probably should be, and the AFC is still open because again, it's still open. Jacksonville has a shot, but I don't see them holding serve for forever.
As
Yeah,
much
the
as
Jets
Justin, you
won't
probably
get
don't want to
recorded.
hear this. I think there's only one division in the AFC that's a foregone conclusion of who's going to win, and that's the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you. I think you can make the absolute argument that the Chargers are the class of the West right now.
You still got. I mean,
Yeah.
Not
but no, I mean,
ruling
but
out.
not the same way. You said the class of the. You said the West.
Right now,
Yeah.
yes.
I
Right
mean,
now,
shit.
yes.
At
That's
this
fair.
very moment, on September 23rd, 2025, yes. I am not ruling out Mahomes and Andy Reid to come out with a full force and take the West from them, though. I'm not going to rule that out.
I'm not ruling it out either, but again, right now, I will take San Diego. They're San Diego for me. I will take the Chargers over the Chiefs. As if you were to ask me to put money on who's going to win the West, I am putting money on the Chargers right
Me
now.
too.
I would
But
not.
let's
I
not
would not.
forget. Let's not forget, Xavier Worthy is going to be coming back. Rashee Rice is coming back. The Chiefs' true offensive weapons are coming back in the next couple weeks. And if I will concede this point, Justin, if their offense at that point is still struggling with their main components healthy, then I will concede that point. Until I see the Chiefs fully loaded on offense and still struggling, I'm not conceding anything to them when it comes to the West.
I'll
Nothing.
just say, like, I mean, if you're a good team, at any point of the season, a 2-game lead, I mean, they shouldn't concede it. I mean, they would really have to. They're going to play the Chiefs one more time, obviously. But I mean, if they really are the class of the West, I would say, well, I think we'll be able to tell more so by week 8 or 9. I don't know when they.
I think you could have made this would be a much more stronger argument. It had the Chiefs lost this last week.
Oh yeah,
Well,
because they would have
yeah,
been
then
0
of course,
3,
they're
and
the
it would have
only
been.
league. Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
could have stuck a fork in the Chiefs season playoff wise, really.
More than likely, yeah, because not too many teams come back from an 0-3 start to make the playoffs.
One
It's
team
not-
has. One team has an entire of the history of the
New
NFL.
York Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
The year they
I'd
beat
say
the
it's-
Patriots.
2011, yes.
It's not a
Yeah.
common occurrence whatsoever.
It doesn't happen.
But yeah, before we get into part 2, yeah, no, good first part of the show, fellas. We're gonna announce the week 3 pick winner in the next part of the show. And then we're gonna get me, Justin, Casey, and Nick on to do week 4. And I realized there was a London game a little earlier today. And the crazy thing is when I was in Vegas, I mean it was 6:30 kickoff. Now it's 8:30, so it's a little more, still feels pretty early. But NFL starting at 12 is awesome at noon. as
Sneak
opposed to
preview
10
for who
a.m.
won last week. It wasn't me. I didn't
Me
win.
either. It was our guest picker that won last week. We'll see if Nick can
Man,
continue.
see, I was gonna wait till the thing to announce. We'll say it again. He went 14-2, bro.
God,
Yeah,
I just
Corey had
totaled
a
it
hell
up.
of a week.
We got like
Damn,
in
man.
1 minute. I went 9 and okay. Corey got first place, 14-2. Justin got second, 12-4. Casey got third, 11-5. I went 9-7. I had the Giants beating the Chiefs. I did call the Lions game, otherwise I would have went 8-8. And obviously I lost on the Packers. I don't know why I let Justin talk me into taking the fucking Patriots.
that was
a rough
an
week.
emotional. That was an emotional pick, but at the same time, they should have won the game.
When I sent the picks to Casey yesterday, I sent him the thing, and I think I messed up mine for the Viking games. He's like, "Buddy, you had the Bengals." I went back
Yeah.
and listened to it. I'm like, "Oh shit, bro." Yeah, so that's
That was Aaron Rodgers' first win in Gillette.
Yeah,
It was. That's
It
crazy.
was.
it might cut
Yeah.
off like the
Out of a
Sopranos
Hall
cover.
of Fame illustrious career, that's his first win in Gillette Stadium. But-
See you on
All
part
right.
2.
So,
Part 2 coming
Nick,
up.
just so you know, we have to wait 10 minutes for this to like salute
Nobody bought Zoom Pro.
So we'll send you a link in about 10 minutes, man.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
All right.